This is Kathy Chase. As I said, there's no media around. They won't bring media around because they're lying, and I don't know what this is. I thought there was freedom of the press, but the press has obviously been paid off. Obviously, the CEOs of the press have obviously been paid off. I don't know where the freelance media people are at. I don't know why they haven't came to Lincoln, Nebraska, 4701 High Street, where I'm located in Lincoln, Nebraska. I do not know why when I called Amnesty International, they're not doing their job. Now, there is another level to this. There is worldwide human rights organizations, and this is a message to them that the United States are going against their own laws of the country. This message to Great Britain, Canada, to the United Kingdom, I said Great Britain, same thing, Japan, and so forth. They are abusing my body. They are entrapping me into abuse and slander, and that's not allowed in this country. Other people in other countries, these other countries in which are supposed to be our allies, do know the laws of our country, and their laws are pretty similar. They subjected me to the fame to try to use some sort of excuse to this, use me as some sort of weapon to this, get me killed before I even knew about it. That was the manipulation. And then they send me information because they know it's going to go out to this further want to sabotage my life, because they're a bunch of traitors to certain organizations and to certain people. They've made me they made me famous by not communicating with me, to sabotage my life, to thus manipulate my life because of what they've done to me and all the human rights violations into my life and into my body and into my children. They're not going to kill me or my children. I want to get to another country with my children. I'm going to be contacting news groups of outside the country. I'm really fed up with the the dictator that's head of this country right now. Obviously, I've been contacting him since he was put into office, pretty much since day one, and he's done nothing. He hasn't lifted one finger. If anything, he's done the opposite. He's made my life worse. You don't subject women to abuses on a public matter, in a public way, to subject women to sickness of hurting people. You don't subject people to exploitations via technology to try to harm them. You don't manipulate someone's character to try to kill them, because it's not gonna work. I'm not gonna let you. I have good character, I have good integrity, I have respect for those in which deserve it, and I don't see any around me that right now. Their little pits process, well, we know what that's all about. They know they make me mad because they abuse my body, and nobody deserves this. I'm a human being, and they're treating me worse than an animal, like a lab rat, you know. And I'm sitting here thinking, well, you know, PETA has a job to look out for animals. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, geez, PETA's more concerned about animals, and here I am. I've been screaming to people for 3-4 years now, saying these people are doing these things to me. Nobody's doing anything about it. What country is Obama from? Mr. Sotero. He's not done his job. Not done his job at all. Not at all. I know what they're doing. They're trying to manipulate. And to all these organizations in which they're trying to manipulate by sending me information via tag-to-tag RFID. Some of the tag-to-tag RFID is here to help me to defend myself. Some has been used to manipulate my character and to try to sabotage me at the same time. When I do something, when I make progress in my fight against a fight that I shouldn't even have to fight to begin with, because they've made this plan, then, they send me information, or they'll try to look for other ways to sabotage my life, whether it's, I don't know what they've done on the web, and I don't know what they've done, I have no idea, These people are desperate, they're desperate when they don't bring the media around. And the media, I don't know. That's pretty much a disappointment, because you're not very American to sit there and take money while somebody's suffering and panicking over their children. How would you feel if it were your children, as a mother, to panic over your children and your life every day and try to defend yourself and be abused and tortured and cornered because somebody made some sort of stupid fucking plan with your life? I'm so fed up with these people. I want out of this country. Everybody just, I don't know what they're doing. I want a normal life just like everybody else does. I didn't want somebody to make my life not normal because they had some other ulterior plan or motive with my life. I don't know what jackass made this plan, but it wasn't me. It had nothing to do with me and my plans. I like to get along with people. I believe in actual human rights. I believe in the laws of this country, but they're not being used. They're not being addressed. And what the heck is human rights laws? I'm sitting here saying, okay, right here you got human rights violations right here. They want to treat me like I'm a Chinese prisoner or some sort of slave from the Civil War era or whatever. They have abused my body all day long, like they're doing right now, my shoulders. And they abuse parts of my body, and I don't know what you're doing. I really don't know what the government agencies think they're doing. In the military, I'm getting very disturbed by the military who sits there and takes the abuses that they put in the friggin' newspaper along with me, and then they abuse, the frickin' laws and the Constitution. Does anybody care about the Constitution anymore? Okay, you might not care about me, but do you care about the Constitution, and do you like the example that they're setting? What if it was your children? What if it was your wife? Yeah, Rob Mike doesn't care about me anymore, or he never did, because his father's a pig, and he was raised that way. Oh, well, you just have somebody as your lover for so many years, and then you make plans to friggin' exploit government to try to kill them or something. That was what they were thinking. That's what Richard Chase was thinking, because it was all the evidence is in the pictures from him. He's a Republican. Their whole family is Republican. I've seen the evidences, and I've sent those evidences out to the press, and everybody can see what Richard Chase is doing. One other thing I wanted to talk about today, which I don't know if I can, I don't know. I'm just gonna say what I think. They wanted to set me up because they knew I didn't know all those years. And they wanted to corrupt people along with it as a manipulation, and to try to hurt people, to try to make people bitter and angry, and try to blame me because they knew after a long time that time would go by that these people would be in denial, and try to manipulate my life by what they had initially done. And then, so they figured, well, if we get this going with the rest of the public for a certain amount of time, it's going to make the general public bitter and angry, and then they're going to try to blame me, which they can't do because it's not my fault. I'm not their rat. And everybody out in the public knows logic when they don't have media around and so forth. They sit there and hide, and I'm not hiding. I'm saying I'm right here. Come find me. Come talk to me. And, the current president, I don't know, he's like from another world or something. I don't know where he's from. I don't know where George Bush is from. I don't know where any of them are from. They're just, these people associate with these people that I went to high school with, and they've made my life hell, and they want to play a game with my life. Where do you get off thinking you can just pick one person and pick on them to make some sort of weird example in front of the country that you can abuse oh, one person, oh, I don't count. Well, I count. Even if other people don't care about me, I still want to live my life in a private way. I want to have my own life just as everybody else does. And I don't know who you think you are. You can lie about the monies that you've made and all that other crap. But people are honestly going to know that you violated so many laws already, and you don't want to take accountability or responsibility for those. And I don't know what the CIA are doing. I don't know what the FBI are doing. But I didn't ask for this to happen to me in my life, okay? And that goes for the Freemasons. I didn't ask for this to happen to me in my life. I consider myself a good person, respectful of those who deserve it. I believe do unto others as you'd want done unto them. But these people have done horrible, horrible, horrible things to me, and I never did nothing to them. I didn't sleep with their husbands. I didn't do anything to the presidents. All of a sudden, I just started getting attacked. You know? I was just going about my life, being a stay-at-home mom, minding my own business, and then they wanted to play this game because they think, oh, well, we're going to exploit her to the level, and then we're going to say time's up on your life because they want to play 4 quarters in a football game or something like that, or something like whatever. And nobody does anything. And I don't know what the CIA is doing. I don't know what the FBI is doing. But you're not doing your jobs. You know you're not doing your jobs. Congress is not doing their jobs because should have impeached Obama years ago. Okay? Because this is, I've already talked about negotiation and liabilities, and I've been very, very good about that, and these people refuse. You know what they're doing, don't you? It's obvious that they're obsessed with being stubborn and thoughtless, and obviously they have weird cult type scenario going on where they don't know when to stop. I understand, presidents have egos, but their egos can't subject an innocent mother and her children to murder because they don't want to give in and negotiate or talk or face up to me face to face because they feel guilty. If they faced up to me, I don't know if they feel guilty or not, because I just think that they're just that cold. People ruin my life. I didn't go ruin other people's lives. I would never do that. I just want a simple life just like everybody else does. That's not so much to ask, And when I'm asking that to the FBI, I'm asking that to the CIA, I'm asking that to the Defense Department. I'm saying all I want is a normal life. Why did they come along and bother me? Why? They had no business in doing so. If they had an issue, they could have came to me quietly in a professional manner instead of creating such a sick display of mental illness on their part to try to corrupt my life for their benefit and for they want to do some sort of sacrificial killing of my life and my children. And my kids and I are not here for you. I'm not here for Barack Obama. I'm not here for George W. Bush. I never was. My life was never their business. They don't own my life. Nobody owns my life. People from Southeast, Shannon, Kim, Rob, the Chase family, you don't own my life. Warren Buffett, you don't own my life. And no, neither does any other millionaire. Okay? Or billionaire. I made people lots of money, directly and indirectly. Who cares, right? All I'm asking for is a little bit of consideration, respect, and for people to learn some integrity and for people to follow the laws of this country and to just help me get on the path where I can take care of my children. I'm worried about my children. They think my kids are just here for their experiments. You can't make human beings for experiments. Or rats. You gotta get that through your head. What is wrong with you? You don't do that to people. That is illegal. That is beyond so many laws, even nationwide and even globally. You can't do that to people. You can't do this to people. You cannot subject people and their children to being some sort of rat or experiment. You can't do this to human beings. I am not a car. I'm not an animal. I'm talking to you. I can drive a car. I'm free. I walk around every day. I'm not on trial for murder or anything like that. I'm not even capable of that. I'm just trying to get out of my situation the legal way, which nobody's paying attention to the legal way. Oh, we're just going to ignore you because we're going to say you're a cartoon and not real. You don't treat somebody as if they're not real and slander them and do all this other stuff. I am real. I'm here. People see me here in Lincoln, Nebraska, driving around in my car every day. People know I'm real. People talk to me. They know I'm real. People see me everywhere I go. I'm real. My name is Kathy Chase. I am real. They know who I am. Everybody in this town of 225 to 250,000 people know who I am. Every single one of them. There's not a single person, pretty much. I have not run into anybody in the past 6 months, I don't think, who doesn't know who I am. Before all this happened, 2005, nobody knew who I was. Barely anybody, because nobody looked at me any differently than just an average person walking around. But they subjected me to this exploitation where everybody knew me, to manipulate, trying to kill me because they wanted to create their own little, I don't know, hate. They're all about hate. All these people want to do is generate hate, and I'm anti-hate. I can't stand people who want to generate hate and not problem solve and not go about the laws of this country because they're too into themselves. You can take your social party and shove it up your ass, okay? Because you're taking your social party sideways with communism and social cliques. Some people are better than others. It's all over the place. I'm taking pictures of this stuff. Obviously. Who else put those pictures there at social services, KVC? Who else did that? They're all rainbows. What is it? How many types of rainbows are there? I am not racist. I am not racist. Don't even pull the race card on me because I'm not racist. It's opposite. I am an American-born citizen. I don't think Barack Obama, Sotero, is an American-born citizen, perhaps, because he doesn't follow the laws of this country. He says he's a lawyer, but he's abused me in every form of the law against the laws of this country. You don't do that. He can't be a lawyer. It's not even possible for him to be a lawyer. It's not even possible. And people are not rats or human experiments. You hide. I don't. I say bring on the media, bring on the media, bring on the media, bring on the media. Quit lying about me. Bring on the media, bring on the media, bring on the media. This is Kathy Chase.